What is up, everybody? Spidey here, and I hope you're having a marvelous day. Welcome to the Marvel Card News, your weekly source for all things Marvel cards. Up next. If Upper Deck's ePack sells out and no one's around to see it, does it make a sound? That is the question we're left with, because 2020 Marvel Agents, the last comic card product on Upper Deck's ePack, sold out this last Sunday, sometime in the early mornings of July the 10th. So now there is no longer any product for comic cards, Marvel cards, to be purchased either via retail, hobby boxes, physical product, or ePack. All that remains is some movie type sets on ePack. You have the Defenders and you have the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. These are sets no one's been buying for a long time, and that's why they're still there. Upper Deck, when are you going to release some more product? And that brings us to the section of the Marvel Card News. We look at the upcoming Comic Cons and card shows this weekend. In Houston, Texas, from July 15th to the 17th, you're going to be able to catch a glimpse of this handsome devil right here. This is the one and only sketch card artist, Ash Gonzalez, an amazing friend of the community, and even more amazing comic card artist. Be sure you go by and check him out. Give him a good thwip and say hello. Tell him that Spidey sent you. Check out his work. He is just an amazing artist. He's done some incredible stuff for me. Ash did commissions for my daughters. This is Madison as Spider-Gwen, and this is Ashlyn as she says, Wanda Ashlyn, but as Scarlet Witch. So incredible work that he does. Be sure you go by and check him out. And again, tell him that Spidey sent you. That is July 15th through the 17th, this weekend in Houston, Texas at the Comic Palooza. I guess Texas is the place to be for Marvel cards and trading card shows. This weekend at the Dallas Card Show, which is July 15th through the 17th. I'm getting word that Steve Aoki's Card House will be on site and will have Marvel cards. And you may not like it when influencers are involving themselves in your particular hobby, but this is news because it does have an impact on the hobby. And again, Steve Aoki is touring in Europe, so he's not going to be there with the cards, but his Aoki's Card House will be there, and I'm being told Marvel cards will be on display at the Aoki Card House booth. This time a year ago, it was $300 a card to submit a card to PSA. That price has dropped immensely, which is a strong indicator of what's going on with the hobby right now, as people are not able to submit cards because, number one, they don't see that there could be a profit in it. Number two, because they can't afford it due to the state of the economy and the money that they likely spent last year and early this year on the hobby. But the card prices have dropped to $18 per card for members, as the PSA, they're calling it their July special in regards to the biggest trading card show annually, and that is the Nationals, which is in Atlantic City later this month. So if you've been waiting on the sideline to submit your Marvel cards, now might be the time to do it at $18 a card. Will that price drop further? I think it depends, but there are many people who have been waiting for this moment to submit cards. Now, you only have until the end of July to do so. So if you're going to do it, get that submission in now. PSA is saying that the turn time will be 150 days. That's to be determined, but that's better than a year and a half, which is, I actually still have cards that I submitted last year at PSA right now, which is crazy to think about. All right, so according to Dave and Adams, there is no updates on the Marvel card pre-order dates. So every date that I went through last week on the Marvel News, those dates are unchanged. So if you're curious what that is, check out either Dave and Adam's website, or better yet, watch last week's The Marvel News, and you'll be able to get an update on what I think about the pre-order dates, but those are unchanged. Spidey Metal still shows that Blowout has July 29th, and Dave and Adams shows August 10th. Who knows what the right date will be, but I will constantly keep an eye on that for everyone on the channel to let you know when the product will actually release. There has also not been any updates on additional new pre-orders. Now, later in the video, I'm going to tell you about some new sets that are coming out that have not been announced officially, but there have been no new pre-order news on new upcoming sets. Now, some of you may not be aware, for sketch cards to be inserted into physical product, that means sketch card artists have to be able to receive those cards prior to the release. What does that do? Well, that allows us to get access to what these cards are going to look like and to get word about upcoming sets before Upper Deck releases the information. A little mind-boggling to me. I would think that you would want to release the news first to the community, then deliver the cards, but that would be my style of communication. Obviously, I like to communicate. That's why I have a channel and I point the camera at this ugly mug, but I digress. But what this does do is it allows us to see the upcoming cards. So I'm going to go through each sketch cards that have been made available to the community via various sketch card artists. I will not name any of them here. However, it's really cool to see what this product is possibly going to look like. That brings us to Marvel Beginnings. We still do not have a sales sheet for Marvel Beginnings, so these sketch cards are the only glimpse that we have at the moment. You can see a nice full blank on the front and also Human Torch on the back. This is important to know because of the fact that the Fantastic Four, the whole arc, including Doctor Doom, Galactus, and Silver Surfer, have been banned from Marvel product for some time, but not any longer. Disney now has enough license rights around it to be able to produce the trading card content that we want as it relates to the Fantastic Four. You can see the books up here. Now, we do have a sales sheet for Marvel Annual, but I did want to show you these sketch cards. It has a very basic look, but the cool thing about that, it gives the artists a lot of real estate to be able to do some really cool stuff. I suspect we're going to see very special sketch cards in Marvel's Allure because they're going to be sketching our favorite actors and actresses that we see on the screen. Little quick insert, I do think the $230 price of the sealed boxes, well, that's the price that I give it as a member. Whatever the price is for non-members, you have to check that out at Dave and Adams. However, I do think that price is still pretty tasty compared to what it might be, and it's definitely a better option, I think, than Black Diamond, which is well over $1,000 right now. Brings us to Flare Ultra Avengers. Look at these sketch cards. This gives us a great glimpse of what this set's going to look like, and I'm loving the logos on the back of the cards. Here we get to look at Vision and the mighty Thor, Jane Foster Thor. We get to look at Falcon as Captain America. And most importantly, as you all know, we get to look at Spider-Man. And I really do dig this image of Spider-Man. If something like this is in this set, I know which cards I'm going to be going after. What cards are you going to be chasing in Flare Ultra Avengers? Also, there's a lot of real estate on the front of the Flare Ultra Avengers trading card, and I didn't quite like the logo in the beginning, but I'm actually starting to dig it a little bit more now. Now that brings us to Spider-Man Metal. Spider-Man Metal does have that metal logo on it, and it does look pretty good. And then we have Spidey on the back of it in a pretty cool pose. I'm not the biggest fan of this image of Spidey. Spidey looks good all the time. I am very excited about some of the sketch cards that are going to be in this set because they're going to be Spider-Man heavy. And that brings us into the Spider-Verse. Now, the real interesting thing about Into the Spider-Verse is the fact that the sketch cards here are not going to be allowed to be anything other than the animated characters. So whatever sketch cards you do hit, it is going to be from Into the Spider-Verse, the animated movie. So you won't see comic book versions of these characters or even MCU versions of these characters. My understanding from the artists is that they were restricted on the fact that it had to all be from Into the Spider-Verse and in that theme. I suspect sketch cards in this set is going to be really, really hard to hit. I could be wrong. That's just my guess. That brings us to what I think is the best part of the Marvel card news this week, and that is that the fact that we get to see what upcoming products are going to be announced that have not been announced. First up is Premiere. Premiere is considered a premium card for Upper Deck. Upper Deck has been talking about this set, or when I say talking about, I mean the artists have had this card for a long time. Still no word, no news on Premiere being released, but my understanding is the first round of these sketch cards were sent to the artists back in 2021. It's a premium card stock. There is a different design here for the logos if you've seen the previous Premiere product. And yeah, you know, it looks pretty basic, but I promise there's going to be an incredible sketch cards from this set, as Premiere is a sketch heavy set historically. That brings us to one of the more fun sets that I think is going to come out, and that is Marvel's Anime Volume 2. Now, Volume 2 is important because if you're not familiar, Anime was released in 2020, I believe, and it was a cool set and likely has been underappreciated in my opinion. However, moving forward, we will get another anime set. I don't know if it'll be a specific type of artist that's going to primarily dominate the set, such as Peach Momoka did in the 2020 Marvel Anime, which is apparently Volume 1. I don't know that answer, but look at these sketch cards. I know that we're going to get amazing and beautiful sketches in anime, real stylistic more than likely with that anime feel. And look, anime is a big deal globally, and Marvel's a big deal globally. You put these two together, I think it's going to be pretty cool. So it's really awesome to see that the artists are already working on these type of sketches and that we're going to get this product again, because I was not collecting heavily in 2020 and was not able to actually open this product. I've actually never ripped Marvel Anime, although I do own a full base set. However, I am very excited about this product in the future. What's really interesting about the anime cardstock is on the images that I have, it shows 2021, Marvel Anime 2021. So obviously it's not 2021. I doubt it's going to be 2022. Are we going to have a 2-year delay on this product? Were they originally intending to release it in 2021? I have so many questions. Can somebody at Upper Deck just come sit down and let me ask all of them for everybody? And that brings us to a big release, at least big for me in my opinion, and that is Flare Ultra Wolverine. Look at this blank here, this sketch card blank. Look at that logo. Look at the slash in the front. I love this logo so much. I love the way Wolverine is written here. It gives me so much hope about this product coming in the future. It seems a little early, like on the heels of Flare Ultra Avengers. This is probably, due to some release backup issues because of COVID, but it looks like we're going to get Flare Ultra Avengers, and then within, whatever period of time, but probably pretty close, we're going to be looking at Flare Ultra Wolverine. And if they're choosing this style logo to give kind of this feel for the card set, it has me have a lot of hope for what this set might mean in general. The last Flare Ultra character specifics that we had was Flare Ultra Spider-Man, and that did really well, like really, really well. So Wolverine should do okay. I'm just picking on my Wolverine friends. No, I think it'll do really well. That means we're going to get a lot of Wolverine sketches. I mean, a lot of Wolverine sketches. Can you imagine the amount of Wolverine sketches we're going to get in Flare Ultra Wolverine? Another MCU-centric set is going to be WandaVision. This is going to focus on the show. I don't know much about this set. It does feel very delayed again. I mean, just think about what we're seeing here. Just shows that Upper Deck had a lot of plans with Marvel cards, and it's just been, it's bottlenecked right now. But we do know that the artists have these sketches and that this is a potential release in the future. So if you're into the MCU product, keep an eye out for WandaVision. Now, there is one possibility that I don't know about, is that some of these sets, such as WandaVision, they may be only ePack releases. We've had a Black Widow set recently that was only ePack. So I suspect that these may be ePack only. So if you're not a member, if you've not created an account on Upper Deck's ePack, you probably want to do so if you're interested in this product. Now, you have all been waiting for it. I've been waiting for it, and we finally have some Marvel Masterpiece news. Now, it's likely not the news that you want to hear or I want to hear, but it's news nonetheless because we have looks at the sketch card blanks. There's no indication on these blanks on who the next artist will be, but it must be coming soon with our sketch card artists having received these blanks and have, I think, mostly finished, if not all finished. Artists, let me know. I do believe the fact that we're being able to look at these blanks just gives us a greater sign that we're going to get the news of who the artist is pretty soon, and maybe even a release within the next 12 months. So it's fun to see that this is a 2022 Marvel card release because it does show 2022 on the date. Now, in times in the past where Marvel Masterpiece by no means released on the date that's on the back of the trading card, including the 2016 release, and I do 2016 in air quotes because it was supposed to be 2014, then 2015, then 2016. And if you're searching on eBay, you can actually find cards from the 2016 Marvel Masterpiece release that actually have the 2015 date and I believe also a 2014 date. So this one has 2022. We will likely not get this product in 2022, but it does seem like we're inching closer and closer and closer to the next Marvel Masterpiece release. And this brings us to the Marvel Card Instagram account of the week, and that goes to none other than the amazing Spider Guy. Brian, congratulations on being selected as the Instagram account of the week. You have an amazing account. It is so well curated, and it's just beautiful to look at, and it is primarily Marvel cards, and what you've done in the collection of the 2017 Flare Ultra Spider-Man is just absolutely awe-inspiring. Guys and gals, go check out this Instagram account. He's currently sitting at 700 followers. It should be 5,000. When you have an account this beautiful with this amazing cards, it should be a lot more than that. So go follow the amazing Spider Guy. Tell him Spidey sent you. So that brings us to the end of this week's episode of the Marvel News. If you're out there and you hear any Marvel news that you think that the community should know, please DM me on Instagram at Spidey Hits and let me know what news is out there so that I may be able to deliver this to the community. And if you have a nominee that you would like to nominate for the Instagram account of the week, by all means, let me know. And don't forget, there's other content other than the Marvel news. On Tuesday nights, we have the Marvel show, and we have a wonderful time just talking about all things. As my friend says, it's questionable content. But either way, check it out. On Saturday mornings, we have the Saturday Morning Marvel Card Show, where we typically open up product and just share it and enjoy those Spidey hits together. So keep an eye on that. If you like this kind of content, you want to keep up with Marvel card news, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, and Spidey hit that like button on the way out. And as always, my friends, I hope you have a marvelous day.